Hi guys, the General here. Welcome to the Masterclass. So you guys have spoken and I have listened. This is the most requested video from grade 10 to grade 12. Everybody wants to know how to write a business studies essay. So today we're going to look at just that, and I'm using an Eastern Cape paper, June 2024. And I've chosen a topic that we can all relate to, whether you're in grade 10, 11, or 12, is creative thinking and problem solving. It's a topic that we have all covered. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with looking at the question. So question 6 here says, it starts with the preamble. The preamble is this scenario that you have at the beginning. So it says businesses face many challenges daily that require problem solving and decision making. Being creative is a great benefit and can be applied by solving problems through brainstorming and nominal group technique. Therefore, it is important for businesses to allow for a creative working environment. So that's our preamble there. Why do they give us this preamble? The preamble is there to introduce the concepts that are going to come in the question. So we are not to use any part of the preamble in our body or introduction or even the conclusion. No part of the essay must be taken from the preamble. So let's look at the question itself. Write an essay on creative thinking and problem solving in which you include the following aspects. So number 1, outline the differences between problem solving and decision making. Bullet point number 2, explain the benefits of creative thinking in the workplace. Number 3, discuss the impact of the following problem-solving techniques, which is your brainstorming and nominal group techniques. Number 4, recommend ways in which businesses can create an environment that promotes creative thinking in the workplace. Now, note that this is for 40 marks. This is for how many marks? 40 marks. And your paper, if you're in grade 11 and 12, is out of 150. So a big 40 marks will come from the essay. If you're in grade 10, even more, because your paper is out of 100, and if you write your essay well out of 40, then automatically you are on your way to possibly getting a distinction. So it's very important to know how to do this. So let's go to the essay structure. How are we expected to write our essay? The first thing will be the introduction. However, let me mention here that when we write a business studies essay, we don't write it the same way we write an English essay, where you write subjectively, you express yourself, express your opinion, and so forth. In business studies, we have none of that. We are writing objectively, meaning everything is fact-based. We need to be taking our points from the facts that we have in the notes and nothing else. And those facts that you are writing, you must, as best as possible, quote them. Use them the way they are in the notes. So like I said in the previous video on tips of how to get a distinction, I said make brochures where you minimize the notes. You limit it to just 3 or 4 points per subheading, which you are going to be studying so that you catch them the way they are, and that will be useful when you are writing your facts in your essay. So let's start with introduction. Here we are just introducing the topic, nothing hectic. So here you are going to give something light like the meaning of what we are talking about. So for example, here we are asked about the differences between problem solving and decision making. So a good introduction would be to mention the meaning of problem solving or the meaning of creative thinking. So that would be good. The meaning of decision making as well, because you are touching on the meaning without going into the differences. So that would keep you safe, because you do not have to repeat these 2 facts that you use in the introduction elsewhere. Then we come into our body. We are supposed to have 4 subheadings. Where are the 4 subheadings coming from? The 4 bullet points. So what is bullet point number 1? Outline the differences between problem solving and decision making. So we come to our subheading. What will be our subheading? The difference between problem solving and decision making. Then number 2, explain the benefits of creative thinking in the workplace. What will be our subheading? the benefits of creative thinking in the workplace. So don't repeat it as a question. Give the heading as the answer that you're going to be giving. I hope you understand what I mean by that. So after you write your introduction, which will have 2 facts for 1 mark each, some of you write only 1 statement there. No, it has to be 2 because each of them is getting 1 mark. Then you skip a line, you go to your subheading. So our subheadings will all be the same: subheading number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So let me just talk about what do we need in a subheading. In a subheading, we need a minimum of 4 facts, and I emphasize a minimum. The catch here is in the essay question. Let's go back and look at our question. In the question, we are not given the mark allocations for each bullet point. For example, to say bullet point number 1 is 8 marks, bullet point number 2 is 10 marks, number 3 is 16 marks, and so forth. As a learner, you are not exposed to that information. So what do you need to do when you are in your essay? You are going to write your essay in full. You're going to be writing complete statements so that you get 2 marks per each fact, and you're going to be writing as many facts as you can. That's why I am saying minimum 4 facts. How did I come up with 4 facts? We've got 4 subheadings. If you have 4 subheadings and you get 4 facts each, that means you've got 16 facts. And if all your facts are right, that would give you 32 marks. So we'll discuss why 32 is very important. But like I said, let that be a minimum, because some of these subheadings, they go up to 16 marks. So if you do well in subheading 1 and you write more, it may cover for subheading 2, where you may not do very well. Then in our conclusion, we are expected to write 1 fact, any fact that has not been already used. All right, let's look at how our essay is going to be marked. So this is a portion of the notes to markers that I am projecting for you here. So we have what is called insight. You will see it at the end. We have what is called insight. So when we are marking, we have facts and then we have insight. Our facts should give us 32 marks, then insight should give us 8 marks. So the insight is made up of lasso. Lasso L is for layout. So how are those marks given? Is there an introduction, a body, and a conclusion? So if you write the word introduction, you are going to get an L next to introduction and another L next to conclusion. Those represent 2 marks just for writing introduction and conclusion. As long as you have written something under that subheading, you are getting those 2 marks. Then analysis and interpretation. Here we are saying, is the candidate able to break down the question into headings or subheadings? Remember what I said earlier, that the bullet points must give us the subheadings. So if you are able to interpret 4 bullet points into 4 subheadings, you've got 1 mark already, because all the headings are addressed. Then from the body, subheading number 1 to subheading number 4, if you have gotten at least 16 marks from there, which means at least 8 facts are correct with 2 marks each, automatically you get the second analysis mark. So you get another 2 marks from there. In synthesis, this is the easiest one. Are there relevant decisions, facts, responses made based on the questions? So here we are looking at, is the learner still on course or is he gone off topic? Now I'm going to skip the details for you and just tell you what you need to do to make sure you don't lose these marks. As long as what you have said in your essay is relevant, even if it may not be correct, as long as it is relevant to the topic, you are not going to lose these marks. So synthesis marks, they are in the bag. You will not lose them unless you have gone off topic totally. Then we have originality. Is there evidence of 1 or 2 examples not older than 2 years that are based on recent information, current trends and developments? So you have to say in your essay, include at least 2 examples from current affairs, something that has happened within the last 2 years. Then you are going to bring that in. I'll give you an example. Let's say we're talking about a topic on investments, and we are talking about maybe, okay, let's go to compulsory insurance. We know that we've got things like pension fund and so forth. And while you're talking about that in your essay, we know that since September 2024, which is next month from the time of recording this video, there is going to be a two-pot retirement system whereby people will be allowed to take up to 1/3 of their pension now and keep 2/3 for later. That's something that's current and is happening now, and it's a universal example that any marker anywhere will know about, and that is going to score you your 2 marks for originality. So the total for insight will be 8, and then from that 8 you have to build your facts. And I said, how do you build your facts? The 32 for facts, I said you are going to have 4 points per each subheading. That will give you at least 32 marks. Okay? If you have written more, even better for you. So the facts are there. They are not difficult. Alright, let's look at business roles. So here's your introduction. The business must have mechanisms in place to help them work through problems. Then you put any 2 points there. Then we've got differences between problem solving and decision making. The maximum is 8 marks. Then advantages, benefits of creative thinking in the workplace. The maximum there is 14 marks. Then impact of problem solving techniques. So you know when it's impact, you can give positives, advantages, positives, which are advantages, and negatives, which are disadvantages, or both. You can even mix them. Then we go to ways to create an environment that stimulates creative thinking in the workplace. That's another one. That's our last bullet point, which is 8 marks. Then from there, we have the conclusion. The conclusion, we're expected to write only 1 point, which will give us 2 marks. So here's the breakdown that I was telling you about. Introduction was 2 marks. Benefits of creative thinking was 14 marks. Differences between problem solving and decision making was 8 marks. Impact of problem solving techniques was 16 marks, which would be 8 for brainstorming, 8 for nominal group technique. Ways in which businesses can create an environment that promotes creative thinking in the workplace would have been 8 marks. All of that, which gives us 32 marks, and I've already explained how we get the insight. So that takes us to the end of this lesson. I hope you have learned a lot, and if you need more tips about how to get a distinction in business studies, I urge you to watch this video right here. God bless you.